Hello and welcome to Let's Discuss, getting inside the benefits and harms of workplace AI technologies, brought to you by the Center for Inclusive Change. I'm your host, Carrie Miller. In this episode, we'll be talking about automated timesheets. Efficiency gain or privacy invasion? Let's discuss. So, what do employers want out of their AI technologies? Well, they want, efficiency, reduced waste, reliable and timely decision information, accuracy, productivity, results, also known as profit. They want quality output, happy customers, and happy employees, right? Well, of course. So, what do automated timesheets offer? Let's take a look at one company's assertion for this week's Workplace AI use case du jour. Here we have a company called Crossover. They're a placement agency for super high quality IT professionals, aka knowledge workers, right? So they use a technology that they invented called WorkSmart to automate timesheets. I'm just going to read their claim about offering automated timesheets. Then we'll unpack it. Okay, so this is verbatim straight off their website, and it says contractors don't need to create timesheets or invoices because WorkSmart automates this. Like a Fitbit, it offers a lot of coaching value as a way to objectively measure and improve productivity over time. That sounds great. Depending on the settings agreed upon by the client company and the hiring manager, WorkSmart has the ability to, here we go, take screenshots as well as snapshots via your webcam at regular intervals. Now, we recognize that this can be intimidating at first, but it is ultimately not so different to a typical office environment where people work in view of each other. Contractors can have full access to review their own time cards and can remove them if necessary. So, don't you love that? I mean, it checks all the boxes for what an employer wants, right? Efficiency, reduced waste, accuracy, the whole shooting match, right? Cool. All right. Okay. So here's the thing with HR tech. Oftentimes, suppliers don't disclose the whole story. Sometimes they don't think about it. Sometimes it's counterproductive. And sometimes, well, it's complicated. So let's Paul Harvey this sales pitch, shall we? Let's discuss the rest of the story. Here's what they said, and here's what they didn't say. What they said was, it offers a lot of coaching value as a way to objectively measure and improve productivity over time. Interesting. What they didn't say is, if every engagement is a unique knowledge work, then who decides what objective coaching actually looks like in a way that's not offensive to the knowledge worker? That, by the way, is reportedly in the top 1% of their profession, since that's the only type of talent they hire. Here's another thing that they said. It takes screenshots as well as snapshots via your webcam at regular intervals. What they didn't say, actually, this is what I say, no thank you. Because, by the way, governments from around the world tend to frown upon this type of privacy violation. There are laws coming at this stuff left and right, so watch it. Here's something else they said. This can be intimidating at first, but it's ultimately not so different to a typical office environment where people work in view of each other. Really? Okay, sure. There's a difference in someone seeing you at your desk versus an automated system taking a picture of your empty chair because, by the way, you stood up to stretch and think for a minute because you're a knowledge worker, and then that system communicating your, quote, absence to the payroll system so that it can dock your pay. That's a little bit different, I think, but they didn't say that. Here's something else they said. Contractors have full access to review their own time cards and they can remove them if necessary. Interesting. So if you remove a time card, you're basically removing your ability to be paid for your time. It doesn't say correct your time card, it just says remove it. And that is why we need AI governance for all the HR technologies. Here are some governance actions we need to take on this one. First, we're going to want to start with stakeholder feedback. Get together a round table of people who will be actually using this tech. Get their feedback. Second thing is get references. Apparently they have customers. Let's talk to them. In fact, go check Glassdoor for crossover reviews. It is fascinating. Next, we're going to be extra careful in our procurement and contracting steps. We have to ask some questions like, what risks do we need to be aware of? And what is your process for addressing issues and incidents? Like, for example, what if someone's spouse is captured in a photo while walking by in their undies in the background? Or can we opt out of this altogether? And you have another opportunity to mitigate risks with your contract, like asking them to report their KPIs on a recurring basis. And maybe you can decide some of those critical KPIs. And our last governance point for today is about monitoring and management. AI technologies are never set it and forget it technologies. They need to be watched like toddlers. And if at all possible, you'll want to pilot them first. Even if it's a pain, trust me, it is always worth the pain. You don't want to get headlong into something and then realize it's a pain. And always be sure to set up a formal process for reporting issues. And even if they are just suspected issues, get them reported. It all matters, and it especially matters to the person on the wrong end of the AI incident. Trust me. And that's it. That's our discussion for today. Thanks for listening. Tune in next week for another workplace AI use case discussion. Have a wonderful week, everyone.